As you all know, the president just put out a statement announcing an additional tariff on China. The tariff on China will now go up to 125% because China imprudently decided to retaliate against the United States. And as I said at the podium yesterday, when you punch at the United States of America, President Trump is going to punch back harder.
This was driven by the president's strategy. He and I had a long talk on Sunday, and this was his strategy all along. And that, you might even say that he goaded China into a bad position. They responded. They have shown themselves to the world to be the bad actors, and we are willing to cooperate with our allies and with our trading partners who did not retaliate. It wasn't a hard message. Don't retaliate. Things will turn out well.
I'm honored to have done it, and look, nothing's over yet, but we have a tremendous amount of spirit from other countries, including China. I did a 90-day pause for the people that didn't retaliate, because I told them if you retaliate, we're going to double it. And that's what I did with China, because they did retaliate.
Okay, Press Secretary Caroline Levin and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent spoke today on President Trump's 5D chess. He's doing chess in 5D. He did slap a new 125% tariff on China, warning China faces a backlash, but China does want to do deals. Joining us now, former Trump State Department official and former senior advisor in the Trump White House, Christian Whiton. Christian, where does this leave China? We're going to show the list of Chinese companies, even Chinese companies along with other companies now relocating their supply chains out of China. What do you make of all this?
Yeah, it leaves China in the worst position possible. They are target number one because they have made themselves target number one. Trump didn't actually start this trade war. He just decided to start fighting back against China, which has learned from decades of experience that can get it away with sticking it to the United States. So he's pushing back, and I think it's a pragmatic decision to realize you're fighting, in essence, a world war, a multi-front war, but you should focus on the most important front. In World War II, an actual war, we decided to focus on Germany first and settle Japan later. This is a decision, a recognition that China is the worst actor and should be dealt with first. And incidentally, the country we're negotiating first is with Japan, longtime adversary of China and America's best ally in the Pacific.
Yeah, I mean, it's Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, South Korea, Japan. China's boxed in. And let's talk about the companies moving their operations, supply chains, and operations out of China. It's even China's own company, major retailer Shein, moved its headquarters to Singapore. TikTok established headquarters in LA and Singapore. Temu's parent company listed its principal offices in Dublin, Ireland. More multinationals moving manufacturing away from China. Apple, Dell, Nike, Hasbro, Microsoft, Nissan, Honda, Apple, Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds investing in the U.S. Is it happening now? Is the president resetting the table worldwide? And can they get these supply chains up and running to replace China in these other Asian nations?
Yes, I think so. There's going to be disruption, and there's also some risk. If you are, for example, Apple, and just moving production from China to India, you're assuming that India eventually gets a good deal, is willing to make a good deal with Trump. Maybe it will. Certainly Modi and Trump have a good relationship. But, you might be better off trying to move some of that manufacturing here, because Donald Trump and Peter Navarro still fundamentally believe that we should not have long-term trade deficits, that drains capital from the United States. That means that foreigners own more things than Americans own. So this is a respite for the rest of the world. Other countries really should negotiate seriously. They should not sort of see this as weakness or the fact that the United States will only focus on China.
Got it. Now, let's get your reaction to frequent guest Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary wants 400% tariffs on China. And also listen to the president. President Trump is talking about tariffs coming very soon on pharmaceuticals. Watch.
We're going to tariff our pharmaceuticals, and once we do that, they're going to come rushing back into our country because we're the big market. The advantage we have over everybody is that we're the big market.
104% tariffs on China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it, sell it back here. Never has an administration.
Christian, what do you think, Christian?
I think all of that is right. And basically what eventually we need is delinkage from China, but it needs to be strategic. Yes, we cannot depend on China for pharmaceutical ingredients. Even drugs made in India have Chinese ingredients that has to be moved to the United States for our own security.
Christian Whiton, you're terrific. Thanks for being with us.